It's official, folks. Pascal Siakam has been named to an All-NBA team. Gotta get the balloons, the celebrations going. I'm gonna break down this massive milestone for Pascal Siakam, what people have been saying about him making this selection, but that's not the only bit of Raptors news we've got. Jalen Harris is back in Toronto, the former Raptors second-round pick. I'm gonna break down whether or not he could potentially make the roster this upcoming season. Additionally, Norman Powell, former Toronto Raptors, gone viral on TMZ and stuff for a woman just absolutely wiling out at him down in Las Vegas, saying some crazy stuff. So we got that, and additionally, some Raptors trade rumors, as comes with this time of year. So I'm going to break down all of those. So without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, breaking down the latest Toronto Raptors news. Before I dive into anything specific, I do want to just send some love, send some thoughts, send some prayers to all the families, the people affected by that shooting, that devastating shooting down in Texas. It's absolutely grotesque that this stuff is, school shootings have become normalized and anywhere in the world, especially in the US now, but there's no place for that for any pocket on earth, and I just don't want this to become normalized or continue. Something's got to give. So send in love, thoughts, and prayers, and hopefully it'll be a bit of a distraction for people affected that are watching this video. But we got some Raptors news. We got some positive news for the Toronto Raptors, and Pascal Siakam, he's been named to the All-NBA third team. So, folks, it didn't look good there for a little bit at the start of the season, but as it went on, Pascal Siakam just kept getting better and better and better, and well-deserved. Earned that All-NBA third team selection. I played the balloons at the start of this podcast. I'm playing them again because Pascal Siakam just had a phenomenal year. I'm gonna serenade this guy with praise, with love, because he deserves it. I see so many people trash on him, even when he's playing well. Right? We gotta show love to the Toronto Raptors star, and I see some stuff. I've seen some memes, and Shams puts up the tweets, Woj puts them up, and people throwing in that clown meme where the military guys and the clown are in there and all that. Pascal Siakam's a little bit left out, but they're getting flack, they're getting hate for people commenting that because Pascal Siakam deserves it. People are claiming that him paired with LeBron, him are on an equal tier. This season, I'd probably argue Pascal Siakam, both ends of the floor, impact on the team, especially in the second half of the year. Siakam was better than LeBron probably this season, so that's you gotta show love. We gotta show love as a fan base, as a sport. You gotta support your top guys. Now, the one controversial thing that people might be saying is Jimmy Butler didn't make an All-NBA team, and obviously he was on the first team, and people will probably put Jimmy Butler, he's in the conference finals right now. He's the Celtics are playing as we speak, Heat and Celtics, so you gotta give credit to, you gotta acknowledge that Jimmy Butler wasn't made on a team when, one of your guys has, but he didn't play a lot of games. The season was dealt with a lot of injuries, and if you look at the numbers, especially just your box score hard numbers, Pascal Siakam was better. Even if the advanced stats sort of lean in favor of Jimmy Butler, I think there was some other guys on this All-NBA teams. Even LeBron, when you look at the record, you factor in the defense and all that Jimmy Butler could have probably overtaken rather than Siakam, but we're not even thinking about that. Pascal Siakam deserves it. He put up a ridiculous stat line on a winning team that was projected to be bottom of the Eastern Conference. Show some love. Show some love to our guy Pascal. So that's what I'm doing at the start of this pod. Giving the guy some love. And I still see some trash in the comment section. I know Josh Yeiss, Riker converted to Pascal Siakam's fans. Maybe Josh fell off the wagon a little bit at times during the playoffs, but I know Riker and I fully support this guy. I never jumped off the bandwagon. So shout out to Spicy P. Love to see that from our guy, but that's not the only topic. And this might be a little bit more juicy for Raptors fans. And Jalen Harris returning to the Raptors? What? How could this be? How could this happen? He was in Europe. People were kind of bagging on this dude, given his stat line in Europe, 14 points per game on Vinoli Cremona. That's his club he played for in Italy, and played about 27 minutes per game on a team that went 6-12 over there in the EuroLeague. So I know it's tough to score in Europe, but he also only shot 29% from the three-point line. So I thought we were over this. I thought we were through. Jalen Harris is probably not making the roster. I know we have his bird rights. I know he could be a restricted free agent for us, but could he make the squad? I don't know, but he officially is just signed with the Scarborough Shooting Stars of the CEBL, which is obviously the Canadian Basketball Association. I believe that's the team J. Cole is playing on. So he went down there to play with J. Cole, and he's posting stories about being in Toronto, because he never actually got to live in Toronto, spend time in there, because when he was on the Raptors, it was during the Tampa season, and he's saying he loves it. He's doing some interviews, because obviously the reason he left the Toronto Raptors, given he was under contract, he's a rookie extension, he was banned from the NBA for a year due to a substance misconduct or whatever, and in the interview, what he said is it wasn't his fault that he took whatever substance that got him banned. So hopefully that's something that's true and he's not in denial about it, but that's something I'm sure Masai Ujiri will factor in, given, just how he's overcoming or dealing with that situation. And if he's healthy and he sort of gets his shooting touch a little bit back, I wouldn't mind seeing him on the Summer League roster, seeing how he progresses, just given that we have his rights, given he did have a couple of great games for the Toronto Raptors during that Tampa Tank season. But do I think he'll actually make the roster? Unlikely. We have guys like Armani Brooks, Justin Champagnie Poppy.
All right. Yeah.
Fulfilled that role, and I think defensively, those two guys looked a lot better than Jalen Harris, and the three-point stroke, Armani Brooks is supposed to be a knockdown three-point shooter. I know he's about 30% himself this season, but he's a guy that has that fluid stroke himself. Justin Champagnie, obviously, along with the three-point shooting, the defense, the offensive rebounding, and all that stuff. I really like Champagnie's potential. It's going to be tough for Jalen Harris to actually crack the roster, but he plays well in the CEBL with J. Cole, and then obviously, shows out in Summer League, training camp, and all that sort of stuff. It'd be cool to see him play. Obviously, has that infamous meme, we the North. At least he's getting up north, living that Toronto man's experience. So you love to see that. We'll see if he gets an opportunity. Hopefully Masai gives him a good shot. But we got another Raptors sort of scoring guard, former Raptors scoring guard, who was harassed on the street. As said, it went viral on TMZ. Just been a bad week for America. Stuff happening in America. Obviously, the shooting addressed early in this podcast. And then Norman Powell, just a woman coming up and saying, the people are calling her the internet Karen or whatever, the classic archetype of Karen, saying you're not American. And Norman Powell, I don't know how you could do this to our guy Norman Powell, just the most chill dude in the NBA, right? Calm, collected, live streamed the whole thing, and thankfully Mrs. that was on the camera that went at him got taken in by the police, apparently got arrested for avoiding I forget what it was. She was arrested though, so nothing bad, nothing happened to Norman Powell despite being harassed and all that sort of stuff. So thankfully those situations, he had it all on camera and ended up good for him. But I don't know how you could do that to our guy Norman Powell. Just the most chill, relaxed guy. He's down in Vegas living his life. People gotta chill, man. People gotta relax and stop doing crazy stuff. So I want to touch on that, make sure people knew Norman Powell's okay. You can see the video if you Google it online, but when former Raptors players, fan favorites go viral, I've obviously remained on Norman Powell Island, right? You gotta talk about it. But the final thing, probably the most fun thing about this podcast is Gary Trent trade rumors and just Toronto Raptors trade rumors in general, because I've seen one that I didn't want to address, so I threw it into one of these like aggregated videos. But Gary Trent Jr., apparently the Cleveland Cavaliers would be interested, or he'd be a nice fit according to Cavaliers beat reporters, and they think they could get him and Harrison Barnes, I believe, or someone on the Sacramento Kings. I didn't even read the whole article. I read it and it seemed like a lot of speculation, but people have been making hypothetical trades with the Cleveland Cavaliers, popping up on Twitter and Reddit and stuff. Not going to happen. There's not a lot of stuff I'd want from the Cleveland Cavaliers unless they'd be willing to part with Jared Allen for Gary Trent Jr., which I don't think they would, but maybe they want to run Evan Mobley at center, give Markkanen some more run. Kevin Love has obviously been great for them. Maybe Gary for Jared Allen. You probably do that one if you're a Raptors fan, if you're a Raptors GM. However, I don't want Karis LeVert. They're not giving up Garland. They're not giving up, obviously, Evan Mobley at this point. I'm not that high on Okoro compared to Gary Trent Jr., so that's going to be a no for me. Any of those packages from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I've seen some rumors in regards to the Portland Trailblazers giving away that 7th pick in the draft that they have, and a couple guys that look nice at the selection. I haven't really done my deep dive into the draft, so I don't know. Gary Trent Jr. is going to be better than any guy, unless Masai Ujiri is locked in on a prospect that he knows will sort of be the next Scotty Barnes, will be the next sort of steal in the lottery or something. Then Nah, I don't want to see us give Gary Trent Jr. back to Portland, nor do I want to trade for that 4th pick. So maybe, again, we used this rhetoric last year. It was a 4-person draft last year and 3-person. This year it seems like a 3-person draft there. I know Ivy's a guy that's pretty encouraging, and people say the next Ja Morant and stuff, but the Sacramento Kings potentially trading Fred VanVleet or trading for Fred VanVleet is something I've seen pop up. Gary Trent Jr., all these guys. Honestly, I gave a scan through. I thought it was just the Cavs report that we had coming into this video, but there's a bunch of just nonsense going out there. And the reason I think the Raptors won't trade for a top pick, trade any of the core guys. Firstly, just like the video I made a couple days ago, the Raptors aren't trading any of their core players for nothing that's not going to completely shift this team. Unless Masai Ujiri gets a star player available to him, I don't think any deals, any moves are going to happen. Secondly, we traded away our 1st-round pick. Masai Ujiri essentially said, right, that I guess the range, right, the maybe he saw the 20th pick range or something. Maybe he's higher on the lottery selection, but he traded away this pick. He said, you know what, mid first round compared to the 2nd round, not a big difference. So maybe Masai Ujiri, I bet he has his eyes on someone in that 2nd round, even from the trade deadline, that he wants to pick up this offseason and bring in. And we don't need to give up assets to, you know, Masai Ujiri's already locked in on a prospect there in the 2nd round. So hopefully we get Masai Ujiri's guy. The draft, we're going to dive into all the players that have been interviewed and been worked out by the Toronto Raptors team, because they're going with players apparently projected all over the 1st round. So maybe it does happen. Maybe something crazy does happen. But let me know what you guys think on all this Toronto Raptors news. Show some love to old Pascal Siakam getting that all NBA selection. Play the balloons one more time in this video because he's our guy. But let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to Raptors Digest. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that cool stuff. Anyways, enough of me rambling. You guys the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.